Well, it's all over here in the Hyde. Donegal have comprehensively beaten Roscommon, and I'm joined by former Galway player Diarmuid Blake. Diarmuid, was it that Roscommon were bad, or was it just that Donegal were that league above them?
Yeah, it was kind of the golfing class was evident there. You know, even towards the end, the game was over at half time. But Donegal have some very good players. I mean, up front there, Michael Murphy stayed inside for the first time, I'd say, all year. He stayed in there for most of the game. He got 5 points from play. He was nearly unmarkable. But Oran McNeilish got 4 points from play in there. He's a typical kind of corner forward for Donegal, left foot, a bit like McFadden. He's changed his role. A few years ago he's a midfielder, now he's playing inside and he's really scoring, and Donegal look like a potent force.
Now Roscommon have to look into playing Dublin in Croke Park. How does Kevin McStay get them ready for that? What can he do? Yeah,
it's very difficult. But you could see Kevin McStay change tactics with the last few games. Armagh, they went all out attack. Tyrone, they were kind of in the middle, and they played a defensive system there against against Donegal. But a week is too short of a time to change these tactics, and he doesn't have time to prepare for them. So, you know, the only thing he can do is go back to the way he plays originally at the start of the year, and hopefully they can keep the score down. But it's very tough when you're playing a game with nothing to play for. You know, you'd really fear for them playing Dublin.
And the worry as well is that we're always told that players need to learn how to contain their emotions. It must be pretty hard to do when your own management on the sideline, or their emotions are also spilling over. I'm sure that's probably a moment Kevin and his management team will regret as well.
Yeah, I didn't see it, and that's not like Kevin, and you know, it's probably a rush of blood to the head with things going so bad. But that had no real bearing on the game. You know, Roscommon just weren't at the races. They were trying a game plan. Another thing they tried was the kick-out strategy. They went long with every kick-out, bombing it out the middle. But once Donegal figured out what they were doing after 10 minutes, they just got every single breaking ball and just suffocated the ball supply into the forward line that Roscommon had. So, you know, I suppose for Donegal going forward, midfield, they're not going to get that amount of possession at midfield, you would think, against Tyrone. So, you know, maybe they'll probably have to bring Michael Murphy out, but if they at all can leave him inside, he's just so dangerous in there. He's a real joy to watch.
That was the thing, he was a joy to watch today, but it probably was because they were playing a Roscommon team who weren't up to defending against the likes of them. That will change against Tyrone, but I suppose the difference we've seen here today is that Donegal are able to adapt depending on who they play.
They are, yeah, and they have some very good players. You know, like you would think that, you know, you would say McHugh and a few of these guys, that they only have a few very good players, but like the skill levels of them players out there, I was quite, you know, it's the first time I've seen this year live in the flesh, and the skill levels of a lot of the guys are very good. Neil McGee came back at full back, came in there. He really showed up to the fence. He's just a kind of a talker, a communicator there at the back line, and once he came in, it just sniffed out all Roscommon's threat up front, and they never looked like scoring any goals.
Were you surprised that Donegal didn't go for the jugular? I thought what with points difference maybe becoming important later in these Super 8s, that they would have tried to hit a few goals home, or at the very least rain a few more points in.
Yeah, absolutely. Roscommon were on the ropes there for the whole of the second half, and Donegal probably should have went for jugular. I know Oran McNeilish hit the post with a shot, and they had a few other goal chances. But let's say, for instance, play devil's advocate, if Tyrone can beat Dublin, you know, and Dublin are playing playing Roscommon in the last round of the league game, they're going to beat them more by 7 points, you would presume. So that means that Donegal are going to be in bother. So they may regret that. They will be just hoping that Dublin will do them a favour.
Finally, I know it's the first year of these Super 8s and people are still getting adjusted to it. We've already seen that perhaps starting in Croke Park is not the way to go, and now we're seeing that what we already have, what we feared, which is a dead rubber game, which is what these Super 8s were brought in hopefully to get rid of.
Yeah, being in Dublin with the Galway-Kerry game last weekend, it was a very surreal atmosphere. It wasn't really championship. No one would there really felt that championship atmosphere. There kind of was here, but it was, you know, the game was over at half time, and now, you know, Roscommon are going down with a dead-end game. It's like a third place playoff in the World Cup soccer. You know, there's no real relevance for them in it. So how are they going to try and keep Dublin to a certain amount of scores? So the jury's out with the Super 8s, in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see, but I think there's a lot of tweaking to do to make it the finished article.